Well, I watched them last night. I think that there was a chance. Away draws always difficult thing to cup anyway. Watch Partick and against Celtic on the week by but they're okay. It's easy, but Aberdeen the only side up there where you can on the top half of but the thrashing very well going the last time. But a half tie, but Hearts and Celtic are two. I think the two best sides the draw.
We fought for Rangers as well at that time.
Yeah, but hard one too. I mean, as I say, home draw. The Rangers have done real well. I mean, Ali's done a great job there. Stabilised the club and improvements from last year. Undefeated this year. So, yeah, I think that we're going to Falk with a lot of confidence.
Looking at the other former teams of yours in the draw, Dunfermline are going through hard times. They'll be up against Rangers in the league in a couple of weeks. We've got good memories of East End Park and playing there.
Yeah, very good spell there. Terrific group of young players developed by the Dunfermline, local boys. When I went there, and Jock had just left, and Roy Cunningham would take over. We just carried on through what had been installed in Jock's time, and I think about 8 or 9 of the team were all Dunfermline-based players. It was a fantastic spell for Dunfermline that time.
When you look at the cup this season, the final's going to be played at Celtic Park. What do you make of that, and how tough will it be for the other teams, in particular Celtic, in the final?
Well, it's the right choice really, because I think that it's great that Glasgow have got Commonwealth Games, and to support that, it's obvious that they had to surrender Hampden Park, and well, Celtic Park holds 60,000, so it's even more than Hampden Park, so I don't think that anybody can complain about that, obviously. But we're hoping that if they get to the final, Celtic are not there, but I'm sure Celtic have a big chance.
People talk about the FA Cup and maybe say it's devalued, but what about this competition? It's the oldest trophy still existing in the world. Has it still got its sparkle? Has it still got the real, when you look at the gravitas of the competition?
Well, in my time I thought it was the best tournament you could win in terms of cups. In fact, Aberdeen's record in the League Cup wasn't very good. In my time here, we only won it once. But the Scottish Cup was possibly the starting point, although they won the league in 1980. They really took off in '82 when they won the cup, and they went on to a great run of success after that. So it's always been cherished. But if you're involved in the Scottish Cup, you cherish it. There's no question about that.
Sir Alex, for most clubs outside the Celtic and Rangers, it's a big opportunity to win something. How would you measure the lift that winning the Scottish Cup gives to a club?
Well, I can only draw on my own experience, and the winning in the final and to beat Rangers or beat Celtic, I mean, that is fantastic, and Aberdeen did that. For any club to win the cup, it's part of your history. I'll go back as a kid and remember when you see finals at Kilmarnock and Falkirk, which was out with the Celtic Rangers Cup finals, Motherwell and Dundee Cup finals, the St Mirren and Dundee United Cup finals. I mean, there's been plenty of cup finals without Rangers and Celtic in it. So the incentive is always there to do that.
At some of those games you mentioned, drew huge crowds. I mean,
oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
There's still a
we don't see that
again.
You won't see that again. At that time, the Motherwell Dundee game, I think it was 132,000. The game was the old Hampden Park at that time, and unfortunately, you won't see that again.
Well, it looks like we're liable to see, a crop of youngsters coming through, given the economics of the game and all the rest. And you keep a strong weather eye in the Scottish game. Do you think we'll look as though we're maybe on the verge of a touch of a renaissance with the young players coming through?
Well, there's certainly quite a determination and purpose about the youth football in Scotland at the moment. I've been aware of that for a couple of years. It's the best way. There's no doubt about that. And I think that if you give a kid a ball at a very early age, the habits he forms with the ball, created what Scottish football was like when I was a kid. You always had a ball. Of course, that the last couple of decades, that has certainly has been missing in a lot of a young person's development in terms of sport. And you've got television with games and all the rest of kids playing nowadays. They don't walk. The kids don't walk now. Their mother or father takes them in the car to school, brings them back. That's not what to do with safety, don't get me wrong. But the athleticism of a young person is different from it was 30 years ago.
Can that be recaptured? I mean, when
Yeah, of
you're
course it
a
can.
young working class man in Glasgow, maybe a different breed of kid out, do you think the mentality can still be recaptured?
Absolutely, no doubt about that. As I say, you give a kid a ball, he'll enjoy it.
Further to Jim's questions, Alex, just the young players that were on show last night at the Tawdry. As somebody who gave youth their head very early on, if they were good enough, can you see some of the players that were on show for Thistle and Aberdeen going that much further in the game, racing the cup final this year?
Well, the important thing is that they've been given their opportunity. And I always think when you give a young person an opportunity, they can surprise you. And you always remember the manager who gave you your opportunity. That's so important. And you create a better loyalty base, without question. And more likely they'll stay with you rather if you buy a player, you never know, your contract comes out and they'll move somewhere else. But I think when you produce your own players, you get a far greater sense of loyalty. And also, you give them an opportunity early, they can develop into something much better.
Last two questions, please.
Sir Alex, this wonderful, famous trophy as Aberdeen manager, of course, you won it 3 years in a row, 82, 83, 84. How special was that for you?
It was fantastic. It was a great Aberdeen team, and I think we were really unlucky maybe in the fourth attempt when we lost the semi-final after we played under United. But it was quite I think we got a man sent off early in the game, and then they got a man sent off in the extra time. So it was at that time Dundee United and Aberdeen were two of the biggest clubs in Scotland, no question. We Jim's teams were fantastic. They're always difficult games for us. Both teams head and head, so there were really titanic tussles between the two clubs. And unfortunately we lost that semi-final, but won the cup next year against Hearts.
Last question, please.
What do you make of the job Derek McKinsey's doing at the Tawdry now?
Great, I'm really pleased from it. I thought he was a little bit lucky down in England to go to Bristol City at a time when they were on the downer, you know, that it was very unfortunate, but you know, you see the job he's done now and it's like showing you. So I think all managers have got potential. The thing is to give them time to create their potential. And I think Derek gave him time at Aberdeen, and they've always been that way for me anyway, that he'll do very well.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you very much.